Oh, jeez. Right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to what, though? Right. Okay. So we're working on the Wayland client. I have made some progress. I decided to work on it offline or off stream. Because I had to read the book quite a few times, and I think it wouldn't have been a lot of fun to watch it, and I think it wasn't, because I was like literally going through the same lines over and over again. But I do have something interesting to show you. But like, if I run Zig build run, I have a window. Right now, there's nothing very interesting on it, but I do have a window. Can I move it? Can't move it. Why does it not move? I think it might be because I don't have a taskbar. Oh yeah, and I can't click anywhere else because there's some problems, but I can see the window. Just go. Can I make this bigger? No. Okay, there's a few things I gotta check out. And it's the same pattern from the book. I just so there's something to see. It was actually very interesting. No. Index 8 is larger than index 8. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Yep. And I can actually, the rendering for the debugger, when I get to it, can actually be a lot simpler because I can write a U32 slice. Hey, Shokobulka. What an interesting name. Hang on, my window's frozen. Okay, we're back. Right. So I think I am doing good. How about yourself? Right. Okay. I don't even know where to start the refactor. Okay, let me look at start of the connection here. And I also need to like expose a render method so that I can there's a few things to do for the client to be useful as well. I'll keep that. I'm not sure yet. Can't sleep, so anxious. What program are you writing? I've been working on a wayland client. It was just, I'm actually working on a debugger, but I needed X11 stopped working after I upgraded the OS. And the new OS version works on Wayland for the window. And I couldn't figure out how the Wayland client, lib Wayland client worked. So I decided to write it for myself, Zig, because it seemed a lot more it didn't seem that hard, but I was quite wrong. So I've been spending 2 weeks trying to get the client working, does work now. I get a window. Now I do want to refactor because yeah, it's a bit of a mess. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's okay. I don't fully understand it either. Just go along with it. Well, I mean, it's actually quite bad. I think today is a lot better because I have been stuck on trying to get a window for a few weeks now. Well, a couple of weeks. And it's actually the good part. Now I just gotta do some refactoring. Right, okay. I think the most common aspect is... Hang on, do I use set title? I do. Okay. So all these methods take some arguments. Surprise. And if I specify what these... I think that's the only thing that's really needed. And an opcode, obviously. I'm thinking of having... Where is my connection? Here. Yeah, having something like a... Let's say I provide a writer, let's say wayland. Oh no, I don't mind talking, it's fine. You're not really disturbing me. You're good. Wayland. Let's say writer would take a socket, but I think it would have a socket already. Would be something like self.socket or something. That's what it would look like. It would take an object. What language is this? Python? No, I don't think so. It's Zig. This one. This Zig programming language. So the writer would need, call it method call. Never heard of Zig. I mean, it's pretty new, I think. It's like maybe 5 years old. Could be, I think it's a bit older than that. I'm not exactly sure, but it's pretty new. Excuse me. Need an object on which to call the method on. I think not really hard to learn. You can pick it up pretty quickly. It's similar to other languages in some sense. And this documentation is really good too. I just read through it top down. And yeah, and you just write a bunch of code. It's not that hard. Actually quite easy to get used to. Take a op, and then it would take a type. And then in the method, I can write socket. Why the heck Hello World takes so much letters to work? I mean, it's not that bad, is it? But I don't know why. I was I think maybe because Hello World is complicated, you know? I think if it's simple in a language, they're probably doing something in the background. I mean, not complicated. I mean, that's kind of doesn't make sense, but yeah, if it's writing to a terminal and things are happening in the background, sort of. Well, also, I think it is a pretty verbose language. You go to like, there's a lot of words to explain something. So I think it's a good observation. And I also need some form of event handler. I don't want to call it event handler though. Event listener. It's probably better. I also would take an object ID and an op. Not sure. And it would also need to check the event stuff later, because I think there's a few events. Do I write back to the events? Create surface. Yeah. Yeah, there is possibility to write back. Okay. Okay. I think event listener will probably be done later. And I also noticed something. Standard debug socket. Is that a socket writer? Stream.writer. Underlying platform defined type which we know in the file system about. What is a stream? Why you decided to stream your work? Good question. I found it's mostly not like no work. It's like side projects that I'm working on. I figured out what I realized. Whenever I stream, I tend to follow through with my side projects. Let's say I work on a side project on my own time and I don't stream it. A lot of the times, halfway through the project, I'd sort of put it to the side and never complete it. But since I started streaming, I've completed a lot of the side projects. I don't know what about why streaming helps me complete the project, but it works. So I decided to stream as much as possible. Yeah, that's why. And also, I think since I've been, blah, blah, blah. I decided to learn Zig around the same time I started streaming. And I would say I've gotten much better at Zig also, thanks to streaming. So, quite a few benefits, I'd say. I wouldn't say not exactly like my mom or my teacher, but yeah, I don't know, it gives some sense of accountability. Even if actually nobody comes to watch, it seems like, you've said you'll do something, and yeah, makes it more likely to like finish it, if that makes sense. I never work when someone is watching. I feel tense. That was also another reason why I wanted to stream. Because at work, a lot of the times when I would share my screen, I'd get really tensed and I couldn't do the simplest of things. And I thought I should work on that. So and streaming seemed like a good way to practice it. And it goes away pretty quickly, I'd say. After like the first couple of weeks, I didn't mind. I didn't mind looking stupid, which is what the fear is mainly. At least for me, it was. Now it's fine. It's like, yeah, I just don't know some things and it's okay. Valid host name, TCP connect. Get a stream. Where is writer? What is in here? Okay, so all you need is a buffer basically. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I mean, if it's something that you feel is holding you back. And also it's also one of the only ways to face a fear, or to overcome a fear is to like face it. And like it's also like the consequences are quite small because when you start streaming early on, or when I did, nobody really cares, and it's kind of a good thing because it helps you sort of practice something with less pressure. That makes sense. What is in it calling? Yeah, I don't. I mean, I did care to. Yeah, I mean, if I didn't care, I wouldn't show up either, or like finish my projects. But I meant in a. Yeah, I don't know how I meant it. I forgot. I want to check something. Net dot. What was it called? Stream writer. It's got a read back. Interesting. But I don't think that's an IO vector, is it? Oh, it is. I had no idea. Is that a right vec? It is. Can you connect to a 6-socket sock stream? Stream.close. 46.connect. It's calling the same method. How does it return a... Oh, it just returns a type, sorry. With the socket handle. Connect. Where is my... Oh, wrong file. 06 socket. Yeah. And then what is POSIX.connect? Initiate a connection on a socket. If socket is opened in non-blocking mode, the function will return error. Will block then when E again or E in progress is received. Interesting. I didn't know you had to connect. Oh, it's right here. I don't know what I was looking at. Where's the socket? The POSIX socket here. Socket stream. Interesting. So I could actually just call that method and get a writer back. I'd like to try something. Const header. Is this the top? Yep. Let's create something called const wayland writer. Let's call it type wayland client. Okay. This will be a struct. Would have a socket, which would just be, oh, what was the type? Standard POSIX socket type. Okay. Oh, sorry. Const. I always get confused between go and and I want to return a writer. Or how do you implement a writer? IO dot genetic writer. I think let me check standard net dot stream. Seems like a good place. It has a handle, has errors. Okay, so reader is here. This is an io.reader. Okay. What do you do with this? Interface state is a reader, vtable, const vtable, stream, readback. Interesting. Need a buffer. Buffers passed during init. Seek and .NET stream. It was quite cool. So that's what the init does here. Stream. Where'd it go? Add connecting sockets. Was it here? Okay, just calls an init stream and buffer. What would that do? Takes a stream, takes a buffer. Okay. An interface state was an io.reader. Interesting. And what is an io.reader again? It's got a buffer, seek, and a vtable. It's got a stream. Writes bytes from internally tracked logical position to W. What's a W? Oh, to writer. Okay. Returns the number of bytes written, which will be at a minimum 0 and a most limit. The number returned, including 0, does not indicate end of stream. The reader's internal logic seek position moves forward in accordance with the number of bytes returned from this function. Reader's internal logic seek position moves forward in accordance. Okay. Implementations are encouraged to utilize mandatory minimum buffer sizes combined with short reads, turning a value less than the limit in order to minimize complexity. Although this function is usually called when buffer is empty, it is also called when it needs to be filled more due to the API user requesting contiguous memory. In either case, the existing buffer data should be ignored. New data. Right, okay. So the buffer is empty. It's also called when it needs to be filled more due to the API user requesting contiguous memory. In either case, the existing buffer data should be ignored. New data returned to W. I want to know what they do with seek and end. The function's only called when buffer is empty. Sorry, where was I? In addition, I'm totally lost. Where did it go? Buffer's empty. Yep. In either case, the existing buffer data should be ignored. New data written to W. In addition to or instead of writing to W, the implementation may choose to store data in buffer, modifying seek and end accordingly. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So if you don't write it, you can use, okay, you can also use seek and end. Implementations are encouraged to take advantage of this if it simplifies the logic. Interesting. So you can just, instead of passing a writer, you can still just use the buffer to read it. Okie dokie. Discard feedback. Read returns the number of bytes written to data. Data must have non-zero length. Data of 0 may have 0 length, in which case implementation must write to read buffer. Data may not contain alias to buffer. Data is mutable because implementation may temporarily modify the fields in order to handle partial reads. The default implementation calls stream with either data of 0 or read.buffer, whichever is bigger. What is the default readback? First.len is greater than that. Buffer becomes first and becomes 0. Read table becomes that. No worries, mate. Get some sleep. I'll see you later. Rebase. Choose capacity data can be buffered without rebasing. Asserts capacity is within buffer capacity or that the stream ends within capacity bytes. Only called when capacity cannot be satisfied by unused capacity of buffer. Not sure. I don't follow. Where was I? Net here. Go down, reader. Why did they modify the interface state? I think I don't need this pub function because it's only going to be called within the Wayland client itself. Or, I mean, yeah, this could just be in this interface instead of having this method as well. What is this stream? Oh, interesting. I guess you could define how to read. Linecast field pointer interface state field pointer IO underscore R. IOX is max buffer len windows.ws2 32 WSA buff. Wonder why they use that type. What is that? As a len and a buffer. Looks nothing like the vector that I wrote. Writable vector WSA as a buffer and data. Hang on. IOX. So I could just use this implementation instead. Do I even need a reader? Just needs a writer though. Okay, it's gonna have a, I think I should call this a handle. Wayland socket. Yeah, sounds better. Have a handle and you guess have a, I gotta check again. How do you use the reader? No, it's not socket. Is it? Is it stream? Has a reader and then quite a big reader. Then you go to writer. Could be a lot simpler than this. I could really just use the stream writer and reader. It does have a write vector. I don't know. Okay, let me. Let's have a writer. Would be of type io standard dot io dot write. Okay. Actually, no. What am I doing? It should have a method function writer. Take something and return standard.io dot writer. And I think a reader, return a reader. Yeah. Don't know. Okay. I think that sounds like a good place to start. Let's get rid of the reader for now. What would the writer need? I think we need a write. Oh, I think I know. We need to define these methods. Okay. There will be a buff. How did I use my? Say buffer is going to be 56 U8. I think we can provide some default. Is that how you do that? I always forget. I think I did. Okay, you need the type. Let's go u8 of 0. It looks, I mean, that looks the same to me. Oh, it should be a square bracket. And I could just use that buffer to write. What else you need? You need seek. No, you just need an end. In buffer before this are buffered bytes. After this is undefined. So end would initially be 0. Shouldn't this be like inside the writer? It's frog then. So what's the point of this? I don't understand what you mean by this. Where does this go? um, like what am I doing right now? Okay, how do I explain? So I've got this, blah, blah. I've written a wayland client, like a basic one. And I can get a window working. But to get to that point, there's, where is it? There's a lot of duplication on, let me show you like an example. Registry event, not an event. Where's the methods? Okay, let's take these two examples, like get registry and sync. These are like two methods in the wayland client, and they essentially do the same thing. There's a type, and you gotta get bytes from the type and then just send it over the socket. And I'm trying to refactor this so that I can provide a type and the writer would write the bytes to the socket. And there's a lot of these methods, so all of these are kind of the same, except that one method. But yeah, most of them are the same. So I'm trying to refactor, trying to refactor it so that I can write. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not exactly sure how the new writer interface works, but this seems like a good opportunity to try and understand how. Does that make sense? I think it does. I'm like supremely lost. Hang on. Let me check back. Standard net.stream. This is a good place. I could essentially do just exactly what they're doing. Don't need the reader. Well, I'm hoping it does both. It helps me refactor the wayland client, and And yes, understand how the IO interfaces work, the new ones. Because I think, hang on, because I would need to get events back from the client, from Wayland, like pointer events and resize events for the window. So it just makes sense to clean it up before I do those things. And yes, and the goal eventually is to use the window to render the debugger. Cheers, mate. I've never used Zig before. I mean, Zig's pretty nice. I like it. I've only been using it for maybe a year and a half. So I'm pretty new to it myself. Let me have a look at the right. What is the other one? Where did it go? Okay, so a writer is a type within here. Mostly C# engineer and TS when needed. Yeah, I did do C# like a long time ago. When I got back into programming, I I picked up. Well, I decided to do it with C# because I knew someone, like one of my friends, who was also like a C# developer. So he recommended me to. He gave me a C# book, so that's how I got back into programming. But I, I switched to like JavaScript pretty quickly after. So you expose it through an interface. There's an editor, file writer. I think the editor. I also make games in Unity, so I'm a big C# guy. Yeah, I think they knew a few people who were like C# developers. Yeah, I started with JavaScript as well, and now I mostly program in Go at work. This init method I don't really get. I'm just gonna copy this. Gonna use this here. Let me go back. I'm gonna check one last thing. I'm a backend developer. Although I also use not TypeScript. I should give a go. Yeah, I mean, Go is. I mean, I like Go. It is. I use it for my side projects as well, and I think since I started using HTMX a couple of years ago, I've been building UI as well with Yeah, with HTMX and Go. It's actually made making websites much more simpler. Yeah, I would recommend it. It's pretty good. But I guess you can use HTMX with anything. But it's a good combination. Go and HTMX. I mean, it's much better than JavaScript, to be honest. It's like, I think after like 3 years of JavaScript, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I used to be a front-end developer, and I'm glad I don't do that anymore. What is actually this return? I mean, to be fair, I prefer JavaScript over TypeScript. I think TypeScript is bad. I just don't know. I can't. For what it does, I think on a website, I think I prefer JavaScript. Because now, like, since I started using HTMX, occasionally when I need some interaction on the UI, JavaScript is like so easy. Ah, okay, I see. I only ever use JavaScript for quick and dirty scripts, but I don't want compiler to run it. Yeah. I mean, luckily, I'm at a point where I only need JavaScript for quick and dirty scripts, whatever that means. So, yeah. Okay, so I do. So writer is a struct, has an interface. Writer. I'll need this. Does it need to be public? We'll return get rid of that. Init. I just call it self. Guess buffer is available. Would return standard.io.writer. And I need to define these methods. Train send file. Why do I need send file? I think this should be. This is not self actually. There's wayland. I mean, it's just a socket really. Excuse me. Chair is sinking. What should this writer be? Can I do self is at this? Can be type of self. No. Do you use AI much at work? I do use it occasionally when I have to like set up. Not set up. Set up's the wrong word. It's let's say I've got to do like things I've done like 100 times. Say there's an API, I need to set up the create, update, blah 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 for the table. I usually get an AI to do it because I can just ask it to do exactly what I've done for the other APIs. But other than that, I tend to not use it. But even that, sometimes I'll just do it myself because I find it's a lot more work to check what the AI has done. Then I've got to like test what it's done. I find it much simpler to just do it myself. I use it also, like, don't always use it for the boilerplate stuff as well. Yeah. I think, but yeah, if I do use it, I think mainly for the boilerplate stuff. But recently, I've also been considering not using it for the boilerplate stuff because a lot of the times, if you're doing something enough times, you sort of need to like question, is there a better way to do it? And I find if it's too easy to ask an AI to just copy it and, you know, just do the same thing all over again, you tend to not ask those questions, or you tend to not see those patterns. So I've been using it less and less. And I think, when was it? I think it was last year, September, October or something. I was doing something and I realized I couldn't remember the syntax for something very simple. I can't remember what it was. And I was like shocked that it's making me kind of stupid. So I was like, I like programming. I don't want someone else to do the programming, even if it's like the boring stuff. Because yeah, I think that's a good way to think about. That tells me you're a good engineer. Not yet, but I'm hoping to be a good one day. But yeah, and I also think if you want to be good at programming, it's best to limit the use of AI as much as possible. Because even if you're a lot slower right now, I think over time, at least there's an opportunity to get better. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, AI is good. I don't have nothing against it. But yeah, I think for me to become a better programmer, I think it's not the right call. I feel like this stream has only been like chit chat, which is fine because I don't know. I don't know exactly what to do here. Guess in that case, I just get rid of that buffer and then pass a buffer here. Just be slice if you wait. What would it return? So this should really be this method here. No, it's fine. Actually, I'm I'm kind of enjoying the chit chat because not getting anywhere with this. That makes sense. This should return a writer, which would be okay. There we go. I think I did right. Right. Now I need to figure these out. Buffer drain. Okay, let me look back. Standards. Okay, net.stream. Excuse me. Right, it's here. What is the drain method? Field name, interface, field pointer, IO writer. The buffered. That is interesting. It's actually a much better way to do that. Max buffers len. Is that what drain is for? Wonder if I could use C message. Create a simple. Does look like the same thing. Message header const, and where did they get control message from? Oh, control is null. The IO vector is also undefined. Guessing they'll define it later. Buff Writer message bytes. What does this do? IOVec underscore const field type of message header const. Field name is wayland. It's like a much complicated way of doing this. Data. Don't understand what's happening here. Also, this is pretty cool. Field parent pointer dot. So it's like stream dot interface. Field pointer is IOW. So that should give you the writer. That's pretty cool. I don't know why. Buffered should give you the rest of the bytes in the buffer. Is that what it does? Standard IO dot writer. Turns the contents not yet drained. Okay. So you get the rest of the buffer. Max buffers len. Okay. Oh, it's defined by... Okay, it's defined by the socket itself. Sorry, in the stream. Yeah. I mean, this looks like... Where is IOVec? This is the same thing, isn't it? Slice of IOVec const. Okay. Lookout is none, name len is 0. It's pointed to the IO vector. Yep. Control is null. I want to see what they write control to be. Add buffer. If len is 0, return. If the value is 0, return. Field type. Point to field type. V of I dot star equals bytes the pointer, bytes dot len. Why do it twice? Oh, okay. You said the header first and then you said the data after. Is my guess. Not really sure. Not really sure how this works. Okay. I mean, gotta come back to this later. I don't think that's the right approach. I probably will look up someone else's implementation. Yeah, but at least, oh, actually, there's something I could do. There are some errors, and also this looks wrong, like that. And window width. Okay, that's why. I think that should be 480 and this. Okay, that fixes that. I don't know what this error is though. Start index 8 is larger than end index 0. Data is header size, message size 83. Stop the buffer. Header size to message size. Oh, message size is 0. Oh, so I think I should check for that too. Self the buff to len less than, or should it be the opposite check? No, it's not. If header dot message size equals 0, return dot header equals header, and then dot data equals guess I should get rid of that. Okay, cool. So I'm not sure what these events are. Event. So on display event, I think I can sprint. Header dot object ID, maybe the op as well. Header dot op. Object ID is that. And then code is that. Object ID 8, opcode is 7. What is object ID 8? Top level surface ID. XDG top level. What was the event again? code is 7. It's weird. There's no 7 events. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or it could be this one. See if I can print the data. Then data. Any dot header dot data. Could be empty. Oh geez, that's a lot of data. Interesting. Okay, I'm not sure what to do with that yet. Do I need to print data? Okay, I didn't really get anywhere or do anything, but hey, but at least I fixed a small error. Nothing major has been accomplished. Okay, I think what I'd like to do is maybe off stream might be better for this. Try and understand how interfaces work and then use that, or just use actually the NetStream writer. I think it's a good opportunity to understand the writer and reader interface better. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that today. So tomorrow, hopefully, I can implement the interface. Okay, I think I'm going to call it today there. Hope you have a good weekend. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. See ya.